Stardate 2956.4.4. Captain's log. I am in NYX right now, heading to meet up with a friend to do a couple of missions sent to us by the UEE. One of these mini missions includes us getting data packets to get some smugglers' detail. I had a run-in with a couple of the smugglers, having to defeat them before I head here. Which is why my partner had gotten a lot of stuff done. At this moment, I am heading to his location, and I have attached some helmet footage to the log. At this point in time, I am arriving back, or now, at my partner's location, preparing to help him intercept the enemy and get the data that is needed. Immediately activating shields, because this is an area on the verge of Vandal space. NYX is definitely known for being right at the border of the Vandal, so often they will have Vandals cross the border to try and attack. Seems we have some smugglers who are not exactly against the Vandal. So far, it seems we have no Vandal, but I am arriving at the station needed. It seems they have a Polaris docked here. So I will be entering the Polaris, most likely. At the end of this, I will not be using my Guardian. I will be joining my partner in his C1. As I exit my ship, I am prepared for what's ahead. Or at least, I hope. Entering through the airlock is the best course of action for this case. Realizing my weapons are low on ammo, I hope my friend has some to spare. Arriving with my mate, we are making a very quick escape, with him telling me that he has just finished this half of the mission. And us boarding the C1 Spirit that I thought was his ship, but turns out not to be. But with legal union standards, we should be fine. vandal pod that will let any vandal infiltrate a ship or base. Now for the final piece. We need that last bit of data if we're gonna get 500,000 each. If you notice on the side, I have a crime stat. The crime stat has been added through a glitch in the crime system where I was blown up by somebody else and then I got the crime stat. Of course, I was regenerated and retrieved by Bongini Point because I was close enough and have not lost any items. And me finding out sooner or later, I will find out the truth that he did not bring the hammerhead, but he brought a Valkyrie. A very broken down Valkyrie. With me heading to go take my station, he heads up to the bridge to start pilot. I choose to be in the turret, even though it is most likely not needed. Just in case any vandal decide to jump out of space, following all of the RSI and UEE protocols. Enemies incoming. I don't know if the ship can take more than what it's already got done. Vandal ships found. Of course they would jump out into space today. Looking around in a substantial amount, we find that it seems the final vandal has fled the system. Now that the vandal problem is dealt with, I think I am going to go look to see what damages we have sustained throughout most of this battle. It seems our weapons have taken a toll, but everything else, including shielding, is fine. So I head up to the bridge to talk with my partner to see what the plan is. Finding out soon enough that neither of us have the waypoint to our next section, so we just guess. As I pass by the dragonfly, I ask my partner if we can end up taking it in the future. But moving on with the more important task, for that can all be answered later. We get out our guns and look through the mini vandal pods. Seeing a vandal pod up close is very interesting. With me and Relay wasting no time to move on. Along with Relay telling me soon enough that the door that we just went through is usually locked. And me assuming that we are going to end up having to face up against some vandal.
Not a problem! What's going down? Taking shots!
And I have found, currently at this time, my first vandal body. Following protocol, we both look around all directions from all angles that people can come from at all times to make sure that we are not snuck up on. So far, we have not found a single live vandal. Now we are looking for a laptop. And me getting killed by the fire. My partner soon enough will hopefully help me. While I'm having a spasm on the floor. Me and my partner are taking both sides per protocol to make sure that there is nobody that can sneak up on us.
Spread out. The bastard might still be here.
Get the feeling like something's about to go down. Gonna take a look. Got a corpse I didn't kill. Looking for the responsible party now.
That's not right.
Found a body.
Gonna go check it out.
Gonna sweep the area.
We got company.
Finding the code, we are ready to move on.
Gonna look into it.
Okay, let's do this.
Someone just got blasted.
a med pen, quick! Got a problem! I'll cover you. Oh, damn it! We're hit!
Us taking both sides, we are now trying to get out of this bloodbath of a station. Now, the final 2 parts of this mission. We have to decrypt the data and find a QV airlock access card, which we have just acquired. The decryption of the data, that is. My partner taking the data card for safekeeping. Now, it's time for us to head back to the other station nearby. While running through here, I wish we had more time to look through the Vandal pods, so I could see what tech the Vandal have to use against us. But on another note, I don't want to die. Now, re-entering the central hub of the main station, we are preparing to decrypt the data. With me remaining as guard.
Then, who wants first crack?
Finishing up our gathering of resources, we are preparing to put everything inside a cargo elevator so we can easily move it to our ship. Arriving at the hangar, we now have our wonderful, what I believe the Constellation out. I don't know exactly what type of constellation it is, because if you go into the New Dale page, you will find that there are more than one luxury constellations, specifically 2. But with my Pyro multi-tool that I have gotten, words are hard during missions, or received back after I accidentally dropped it onto the floor and couldn't get it back up. I am ready to move all of our cargo back. The cryopods will give us a hefty sum for the UEE to study. While he heads up there, I choose to stick in the luxurious lounge watching our departure. We are starting up an academy for Ram Space Industries that I will be getting a Constellation Phoenix just like this for one of the events we will be having for the Academy of New Members, known as the Starfleet Academy, that will last most likely for 2 real-life days where you need to log out through bed and then log back on tomorrow. Making a few quick jumps, including this very beautiful one with a great view you have aboard the Constellation, which will be a very nice schooling vessel. We will make it to NYX, or Levski Station NYX, soon. With me noticing that he has a very lovely, fully stocked fridge, I decide to grab a drink. Once I figured out how to open up the fridge. Once I finished drinking, I decided to head over back to the bridge where Regal went back to. With us arriving at the station, I quickly realized that this is not Levski, with me believing that it was Stanton Gateway, but then realizing that there's a orange hue in the distance, which would make it Pyro Gateway. Now heading in for a landing, I decide to make my way to the cargo bay, where I will be able to start unloading cargo as soon as we land. With us sending down the final 5 of the cryopods, Relay is now going to go sell them off and send me half of the funds that he gains. And with that, I am concluding Captain's Log 2956.4.4. Ending time, standard Earth time, 7:10. Thank you for giving us this mission, UEE, and submitting now.